What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol BBBY. That's a lot of B's, but that is, of course, Bed Bath & Beyond. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame chart, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame chart. First things first, in the post-market, they are trading at about 27.67 by 27.70. That's so high, it's above this prior gap in here. Obviously, trading somewhere up around this range here, all due to the fact that there is going to be some sort of partnership with Kroger. You are, of course, here for a technical analysis, not a fundamental analysis. So let's flip on the extended hours session and just see what's going on with the numbers. So first thing I would always encourage you to do whenever you're dealing with a large gap up is to consider that the overnight high is likely going to be a playable level, especially given the amount of volume that flushed in as this move was unfolding. That means that there are definitely some people who bought the highs here at 32 expecting continuation and never got, they never got that move that they were looking for. So they're trapped here at the highs. That's going to be interesting from a psychological standpoint because, as we'll see in a second here, we're going to go ahead and mark off the anticipated open. Again, there's going to be some volatility here. I'm not saying that these numbers hold for 9:30, but the framework we're about to discuss is going to be the same nonetheless. So let's just say again, based on volatility, let's give a conservative open here at about $27, and then we'll turn this off and focus in on the daily time frame chart just to talk about these levels, okay? So look at the ranges that we're dealing with. Look at how big this range is here. That's what? That's about $5. And to the downside, we also have just shy of about $5, we'll call it for round numbers' sake. So all things considered, if the move is higher off of the open tomorrow morning, that's fine. You can look for continuation. But if we get here, remember what I said about those people who are trapped from the pre-market session. What do you think they will do if prices return here? They're either going to sell or potentially hold. Those are the two options they have, being that they're already long. I guess you could make the argument that they might add to the position. However, I would say it's very likely that as overhead supply, they turn into sellers for a break-even trade here if they're having to suffer from a gap down from their technical entry point up here. So look at that as a solid resistance. That's the overnight high currently at around, let's call it 32. Again, that is subject to change for 9:30 tomorrow morning. The flip side of the coin is, of course, the failure. So something like this, failure and trade back lower through the open would mean that we should start to fill the gap underneath. Now we have a double gap in play here. So the first area that you need to pay attention to is simply here at the 22.15. That's the top of the prior gap. Note again that the gaps that are in play are, let me draw two circles so I can show you the overlap, or I guess a rectangle will work. There we go, as well as right here. So first place to look for support is here at the top of the prior gap. There it is right there. The next place is obviously the fill of the first gap. So again, that's the low of this one right here at 18. And then finally, if this gap truly fills all the way, which I doubt it will based on the severity of the catalyst, in a positive way at least, that's 1675. Again, do you really think that Bed Bath & Beyond is going to put in a bearish candle that looks something like this tomorrow? Probably not. The odds do not favor that whatsoever. So I would say it's all about this pivot basically on the open, right? Wherever we open, if we see a strong drive higher, be bullish. If we see a strong drive lower, be more bearish. And don't just blindly start buying because you think that there's going to be a magic turn. Again, your support is fairly far away, still $5 underneath us until the next obvious and major area to pay attention to. So all things considered, please exercise some caution here inside of BBBY. Please, again, to do that, basically to manage your risk, size the position accordingly. Be prepared, depending on direction here, to be taking a hit of, let's just say for conservative sake, 50%. Right? If you were to take an option contract here and all of a sudden it collapses and you're long from the open, then that could easily wipe out 50% or greater of that option's value, noting that that's 5 deltas to the downside. So again, please size the position accordingly. Don't go in too heavy, expecting that there's just going to be this magical continuation. If there is continuation, great. At least you got some of it. And remember, you've mitigated your risk to the downside. If there's fall apart, because no one knows officially what's going to happen, you've mitigated your downside as well. That's really going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.